Thanks for staying with us. So we're expanding this conversation, especially because of those who have jackpot. And I'd like to open our phone lines to hear from Nigerians living abroad, because for those who are still lining up at the visa embassies, lining up to or filling forms online, it's important for us to have these conversations so that as you are moving with your family, you are discussing and you are evaluating all the various angles. You can call us on the numbers on your screen, 081-270-536870, 913907694. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. We've heard stories of maybe when the woman comes over to the US or something, they go into nursing. I mean, there was a story where the woman started demanding everything to bring her abroad, and then he made her study nursing, and nurses make a lot of money. And he kept collecting her money. After a while, the woman was like, I can't keep giving you my salary, you know. And then they fell apart because the woman felt that, listen, I am the one making this money. You cannot be collecting my money. And the Niger thinking of, oh, I have to give you half my salary or my entire salary, it's not going to work anymore because she has a bit of exposure now. She's talking to her friends, her other nursing friends in the hospital, and she's like, you can't be earning your salary and handing over to husband. So your mindset changes. The same thing where you travel and you bring in somebody, and maybe in Nigeria she was a very, very obviously submissive person. And the moment she enters the US, after a while, the submission is still there, but she's somewhat adjusted because she's like, we both have to work. We're now having to, or maybe she came with the papers, for example, maybe you are still struggling. Those dynamics are constantly changing. And it's how do we ensure that homes don't continue to break apart when they relocate? That's a major conversation to have. And I don't know, like, I think we have a caller. Hassan, good morning, Hassan. Thanks for calling. You're live.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Advice about this is for both sides, the male and the female. Please, don't go for a fake man.
For a what?
Don't go for a fake woman.
What? Don't go for a kept man or a kept woman. Fake.
Whatsoever the case, I don't see any difference moving abroad. You are what you are. If you are good, you are good. Yeah. You can decide to go to the moon. You are still deceptive.
True.
All this issue of moving abroad is that a lot of men don't even understand the ladies they are moving with. All these fast-track ladies, all these ladies that have the sign that they cannot live in any matrimony are the ones who are going for. If you go for a decent woman, even if she relocate to the moon, it will be the same, submissive and understanding. Yep. The same thing with the men, because we are talking about women here. There are some men that are also, by the time they relocate, they become something else. They are fake men. So go for a fake man, you as a woman. A man should not go for a fake lady.
Thank you, Hassan. You know, I was going to say earlier, the dynamics we have here is different. Mara, let me let you jump in.
So, you know, when you were saying don't go for fake manner, sometimes you cannot tell.
We never know.
And it's really about the dynamics. So you're here where largely culture encourages you to be submissive. And it's easy also to be submissive because this is the breadwinner of the house. He goes out, he makes the money, he brings it home, and he's taking care of the home. And that's fine. Then you find yourself that you have jackpot. And here you are, you're the one that can work, probably. You have the papers. You're the one that is doing the nursing, spending the many hours at work, and making the money. And now that you're making the money, the husband now feels, okay, what's my role here? The dynamics have changed. You're now the breadwinner of the home. Am I supposed to now be submissive to you? And the woman is saying, I'm not asking you to be submissive, but since I'm at work, you do the household chores. Now, don't allow me to go to work and come back. And that also can just bring, start off a whole lot of trouble. That story you said about the nurse, going abroad and giving her salaries to her husband. You see, that was such a huge trend at one point. It was a big story, actually, that Nigerian men were thinking that the women were just waiting to get abroad so that they would leave their husbands and not contribute to their homes. Until we now heard from the women where they say, will you take our money from us? And then when you take the money, You would not even give me what I would need to even take care of my, you know, personal things. And those were things that caused problems. So at first, it was this story of this Nigerian woman that I brought her here with all my money and all my papers. And look at what she's doing to me. She's calling the police on me. Then we started hearing women say, do you know what I've been through? Just because I wanted to show appreciation and be grateful eternally for bringing me here, but yet you've turned me into a slave. So you're so right about saying that now that this has become a regular thing that we're doing now, we must sit down and talk about how we are going to manage this new family, the possibilities in the change in dynamics, and how would we handle that? And if we're going abroad, is it just for the money? Or, you know, is it worth it to also, if it's going to be such a risk to our family, are we willing to say, you know what, I would rather keep our family here, we'll work it out, or just going there, making the money and losing our family? Those are conversations.
Let me take this call from Joseph. Joseph, are you there? Thanks for calling. Hello, Joseph, you're live. Go ahead, please.
This is a brilliant question, and I want to say here that you guys are doing a very wonderful job.
Thank you, sir.
In the first place, I must confess that the initial agreement didn't go well.
Oh, Joseph, I really wanted to hear Joseph. Please, if you can try to call him back so we can hear him. Go ahead.
First, I'd like to quickly respond to what Hassan said. People change. There's nothing like fake. People change based on exposure. There are things that I did not know, but I now know. There are things that I did not even think I could do, but I can now do. And changes happen. The fact that, and it doesn't mean that you're not submissive or respectful or you're not being kind or you have now transformed into a monster. It's just the reality of you now understand more about your rights and you can ask for more. Now, when we talk about the importance of this conversation, is that many people don't already within Nigeria have tough conversations. Many couples cannot discuss money. They cannot discuss the fact that I don't like the way you spend money. I don't like the way you shop. I don't like the way you keep buying these kind of things. We don't have that conversation. We don't talk about just talk about food. We don't talk about the fact that have you eaten or paid NEPA bills, that kind of things. We are talking about a country where if you don't pay bills, you might freeze to death. If you don't pay bills, your entire family might be thrown out of the house. The dynamics are far different from what is happening in Nigeria, and families must be ready. When people are traveling in terms of education, you go with 3 children, 4 children, and one person is in school. The person in the school is not allowed to work. Sometimes partner is allowed to work. Some go with documentation that means that you are only there to help with the children. You cannot do any job officially. That means the burden is now leaning on one person per time. Maybe it's only the other that can work, and the woman is in school. And the man you must prepare from Nigeria that while I'm in school for 2 years, for me to be able to finish well, I might not be able to work. Will you be comfortable with the fact that you have been meeting all the family bills? I have that conversation before. You might not prepare for the entirety of it because you don't know what will hit you there. But if you've already had tough conversations here, the likelihood of marriage breaking up because of the pressure there. Pressure reveals content. And when you travel, you will be hit with different dimensions of pressure. And the things you did not know were inside you will come out.
Oh, fantastic. I think I like that. Let me take this call from Kelechi. Good morning, Kelechi. Are you there? You're live. Yes.
Good morning.
Morning.
Okay, can you hear me very well?
Very clearly. Go ahead, please.
Okay, I like this. I love the topic this morning. You see, my take. You see, marriage is a symbiotic union. Okay, and biology told us, like in this union, 2 of them, the 2 partners, they are symbiotic in oppression, symbiotic in everything. All right. Although biology didn't tell us, like in the case of a symbiotic animal, biology didn't tell us who is the head. But in relationships, the man is the head. But let me chip in there. This is said that I like what this is said. This is said that every day she wakes up new, and that is true. She discovers herself new every day. And what is the newness of? What is that newness in her? Tope answered that question when she said that when I read books, mingle with people, not any kind of people, maybe brilliant minds, listen to good topics and all that. I tend to have better perspective about life.
Right.
You know, have better dreams and all that. And this is the realities. These are the realities of life.
Kelechi, oh, we lost that. I'll come to you, BC, in a second. I joke around here that my husband cannot boil water to save his life. He can't. I've never seen my husband actually go to the kitchen and turn on the gas to do anything, because he would never do it. And last year, my in-laws came around from the US, and I saw my brother-in-law bathing for the toddler, powdering her up, dressing her up. And I just kept looking at him like, hey, Brown can never, Brown is not that kind of person. And he has never done it. He has never pretended to be changing diapers or even find out where they are brushing their teeth. He doesn't care. And I'm thinking to myself, if both of us decide to JAPA, how would he survive? You know, sometimes when Brown is insisting that, we're not going anywhere, don't JAPA, and I'm thinking to myself, it's because you know you can't survive. Because if I want to insist on, okay, Morayo, we are going to Canada, we're going to, and I insist on that, I know Brown would not survive, because the idea that he wakes up and he has to worry about, they didn't sweep the floor, the children's breakfast, who's going to pack the lunches, going to, he can eat. So the dynamics in Nigeria, and there are lots of men. So there are lots of men like that. So the dynamics in Nigeria is that, okay, if you can't do it, we can hire somebody to handle that, so that your breakfast is so there. When this our family now move to the US,
different ball game.
Who's going to be doing that? So these are the realities of my own dynamics, personal dynamics. These are JAPA things. Let us think about it twice.
And a lot of Africans are there. So what I see is you travel with an African mentality and you refuse to adjust to the times and seasons when you find yourself there. And that is a problem. So you go here as an African man who has been catered to by his wife and probably the house helps. And instead of you to pick up yourself, you know that you can no longer afford to have a house help. To pick up yourself and assist, you want to sit down there and act as I am the man of the house. When that woman wisens up, especially in that place, when they start mingling, they know that the laws are available to them, you now have a problem where African men are saying, once you bring a Nigerian woman here, they change, they become toxic, they become that. Did you adjust to the times that you saw yourself? Then also, I want men who pick up their wives from Nigeria to abroad to get them to study, to ask themselves deep within, what is the intention? Why am I carrying this woman to the US to study to become a nurse? Am I going to have a slave and master relationship? Because we know that when we train our children in school, we do not expect them to give us their pay packets. So you must ask yourself, what is the intention behind this? Do I want somebody to come here to be working for me? Or do I want us to empower ourselves? That means you would have an opportunity to also work yourself. You have the capacity to go and study to become a nurse. There are male nurses, so it's not like it's only women that are supposed to be nurses. So if he's becoming a nurse, I'm becoming a nurse, or I take my time, go to school, you do the nursing, another person does the work, we change. You must spell out how you want it to run. And there's something I learned recently. You must share the money before the money comes. In relationships, in marriages, we must begin to share this money before the money finally lands. So how do we contribute to the household? Are you bringing 50? Are you bringing 70? Am I expecting you to bring my pay packet? And if that's how your own dynamic wants to work and the woman is okay with, I will hand over my pay packet, is not a problem. You are the head of the house. You must have that conversation from the beginning before the money finally comes, so that one person is not saying, you just want to use me here to work and I'm not gaining anything.
All right, let me take this call from London. Yomi, are you there? Thanks for calling.
Yes,
you're live.
I'm a first caller.
Welcome to the show.
I've been watching this program every time.
Thank you.
And it's so interesting, you know.
Okay.
And people from the students that come on this JAPA visa, they did not, they don't understand how this country is. London is a very stressful country. It is not the same as Nigeria at all. Both the man and the woman, everything you do is based on 50-50. But then once you are in this country, it is not that the woman will look onto the man that, as we are in Nigeria, whereby probably it is the husband that is paying the house rent, or that is doing all those things, and that the woman will just be working and be using the money just to do whatever she wants, to settle probably little things. It's not the same as UK. You know, all the bills just comes at once. And if the husband has to settle it, you will have nothing left. So therefore, the share is, but the students that are coming now, they did not understand. And this very country is, in Yoruba language, they call it Ilubiore, whereby if the man does not behave himself, they will send him out of the house for the woman to leave.
Thank you very much, Yemi. You know how when you go to a new company, there's something called onboarding. You know? Like there's really no Nigerian community. Well, maybe they do have it now, because I know back then you just come in, and when you come with the mentality that I don't want to go into a Nigerian community, I want to find a white community and stay there and just be, I don't want to see Nigerians. I've been with Nigerians all my life. But then you find out that when you hit the rocks, you need a community that can show as a buffer for you, that understands your background. So sometimes maybe we need to start some kind of onboarding organization with Nigerians that where as you're entering, there's a group that is available to help you understand the laws of the land, what you can do, how you can structure your home, because the collapse of marriages because of JAPA is getting more and more prevalent, and it's something that's worth discussing. But let me come in. I'm told our celebrity guest is here, so hopefully she can join the conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.